November 20th marks what's known as Trans Day of Remembrance, a day where the trans community comes together to mourn those who have lost their life through transphobic hate crime or suicide. The figures have been rising year on year, and since the Trans Murder Project was set up in 2008, over 2,264 trans people have lost their life. This report only takes into consideration those that were reported, and the figure is expected to be much higher because of those that were not reported in mainstream press or media. Now, any loss of life is a tragedy, but in the way that trans people have been murdered in the past 12 months is just horrific. For example, Laguera was 49. The victim was found dead at her house with a bag over her head and several knife wounds in her face and neck. And in the same room, on a mirror was written the words, "Damn faggot, this is for you to never rape anyone again." There's also the case of TT Safour. TT Safour was an American black trans woman who was killed in Chicago. Autopsy reports showed that the victim had been stabbed 119 times, with most of this to her face and her neck slashed 3 times. Yoshi was found dead, murdered and mutilated with a plastic bag over their face and draped in a blanket, and Yoshi had had their face skinned off with a knife. With such high levels of discrimination and hate, why would we as trans people put ourselves through this? It's no secret that over 40% of trans people at some point in their life have thought about or attempted committing suicide. Because living as something you're not is no longer an option. Transition is something that takes your life and flips it upside down in many, many ways. It's unique to everyone, but we all know that feeling of uncertainty, that feeling of being unsafe just to leave our houses. And on this day, we also remember those in other parts of the world for who it is a gauntlet and the difference between life or death. The lives that are senselessly taken by those that have no understanding of the issues or what it means to be trans, through fear, lack of education, or just bigoted transphobic hate. Take a minute to imagine that leaving the house that moment could be your last. And not from the usual situations of an accident or something like that, but by someone taking their time and effort to cross the street, come up to you and cause physical harm to you, leading in the loss of your life. Here you are, running the gauntlet for something as simple as self-expression. Imagine being someone whose loved one is taken from them for these reasons, and how brutal these killings are. Imagine receiving that phone call. Today is a day where we stand in solidarity with these people, and we also stand in solidarity with those trans siblings of ours all over the world that are less fortunate, less privileged, and face a lot more discrimination and harassment than we do. It's a day for mourning, and it's a day for remembering that it could easily have been us. But you know what? When trans people step out the door, they do something powerful. They stand up for the right to be yourself. They show the world that we are here and that we have the same hopes and dreams as everyone else for ourselves. The same hopes and dreams as anyone. They also show other trans people that it's not out of the reach of anyone who knows that deep disconnection from themselves and the life that they are currently living. It shows them that it is possible and you can be yourself. And as we remember every single person who lost their life through violence, discrimination, or the sheer transphobia that is still heavily rampant in today's society, I remember every single one of those people as heroes of those values. The values of being yourself and being authentic. You are gone, but not forgotten. Till next time, social folk.